Now, earlier this month, I brought the news that German farmers were fighting back after their government cut fuel subsidies as part of its drive onwards ever towards net zero. But now farmers in France are also taking to the streets. They're protesting against a cut in fuel subsidies, other green policies and attempts to force down food prices. The French are revolting once again with spirits of the Gilets jaunes coming through. I'm joined by Charles-Henri Gallois, who's the leader of France's Generation Frexit group and a great friend of mine. Thanks for joining us on the show, Charles-Henri. So the scenes coming out of Paris in particular are astonishing. We're seeing tractors literally spraying affluent all over government buildings. What's getting the French so hot under the collar this time?
Hello, Martin. Thank you. Basically, you sum up the situation. Let's say that the farmers are fed up with all come from Brussels. I mean, what are the main revendications from the farmers? It's they are dying from the high standards that Brussels require, and at the same time, they are imposing free trade agreements with the whole world with food products that does not respect any same standards. So they say it's enough. They say the prices that we sell are too low. They say we cannot live anymore from what we are doing, and we face unloyal competition from outside imposed by Brussels. So there is a big angry about it. If you look at the polls, you have almost like during the Gilets jaunes time, 90% of French people that are in favor of this manifestation. If you look at it, you are third quarter of the French that are aware that the EU is the main problem for the farmers. So the situation is moving, and it's very interesting to look at what will happen, because if it's going to be serious, maybe the farmer will go to Brussels to ask, why it's going like this. And, in the same time, you have this protest. The EU has said they will go on to sign the Mercosur trade deal, and they will do as well a deal with Chile. And you know that with these countries, it will be many meat and so on that will come to the EU and to France. So it's very huge movement, and it's backed by French people, which is a more important thing.
And Charles-Henri, there's some astonishing detail. Basically, the European Union is placing so much red tape on French farmers. They're spending 20% of their working week filling out paperwork. There are minimum rules on things like the width of cages, the width of ditches. They don't know which ditches they're meant to dredge, which ones they're not allowed to dredge. And as a consequence, prices are going through the roof in France. Cannot compete with far cheaper imports. Vegetables from Morocco, chickens from Brazil and Thailand are cheaper. French farmers unable to make a living, and they are simply sick to the back teeth of it. And we have elections coming up, Charles-Henri, in May and June for the EU. We're expecting to see major gains for the parties that stand against the European Union.
Sure, if you look at the polls, Jordan Bardella from Rassemblement National is amounting to 31%, which is huge. And if you, let's say, sum all the parties that are against Brussels policies, you are more than 50%. Then you still have this split between the left and the right. But if you add all the Eurosceptic parties, it's huge, and it's more than 50%. I think it will be a big signal that will be sent to Brussels. And if you look at the different polls across Europe, it's not only France. You can look at Germany, you can look at Spain, Portugal, and many countries. So, and of course, Netherlands. So you will see that it's moving. And this farmer protest, you had Germany, you had France, but you had as well the Netherlands before that. So it can be a global European farmer revolt. So it will be very, very interesting, because it's the basis of sovereignty. If you don't have your food sovereignty, you cannot do anything. So it's of a paramount importance for France and for French people. And you know how much we like gastronomy and cuisine. So it's a tough topic.
Superb stuff. Charles-Henri Gallois, leader of France's Generation Frexit. Thank you very much for joining us. Those pictures on screen there, they just say it all. Farmers dumping their dung outside of government buildings. Marvellous stuff.